Hello, this is Christy with Cottage Grove Quilt Company, and I'm going to talk to you today about when you get your quilt back from your long arm quilter. As you know from the videos already posted, I'm a professional long arm quilter and a certified instructor for Studio 180 Design. I have a quilt here that is one of my quilts, and this is what it looks like when it comes back from the long arm quilter. You can see you've got extra batting up here and extra backing, and we just need to work on trimming this up. So let me show you how I trim my quilts. So the first step we do is to lay this out on our cutting board and get it to where it's in good reach of us. And the tools we're going to use to do this is we're going to use a square ruler, just your regular square, and then a long rectangle. I prefer something in the 8.5 to 24 inch range. You can use a 6.5 to 24. Whatever you have is fine as long as it's a long edge. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our ruler and we're going to come up to the edge of the quilt. And we're going to try to find the seam. So right here is the first seam. And that first seam is marking at 9 inches. So you can see here we've got just a little bit to trim off. Okay? So then we're going to come up here and we're going to take this up and we're going to trim over. All right? There you go. That's it for the first corner. Then we're going to take the quilt and we're going to rotate it and do the exact same thing on this end. Taking our square, lining it up, and we're going to find that 9-inch mark, and then we're going to just trim that off. And we're going to do this until we do all 4 corners. Okay, now that we've got all 4 edges trimmed, we're going to set aside our square ruler, and now we're going to switch to the rectangle. So for the rectangle portion, we're going to work our quilt up so we can get to it and lay it out good and flat. And then we're going to take our long ruler and just starting where we left off on the square, we're going to line up and trim down and go all the way down to where we meet the other side. Now this particular quilt is more of a modern quilt, so it doesn't have a lot of seams in between units. So we're going to have to eyeball this a little bit more than usual, but if you've got an inner border that's 2 or 3 inches in, that's usually the mark I stick to. It's just following that inner border line. And then this is what you trim off. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other 4 sides. Okay, now you have a quilt that has been trimmed and it's now ready for the next step, and that is to attach the binding. So the next quilt, or the next video, excuse me, that we will do is how to make your binding and how to attach it to the quilt. So I want to thank you today for stopping by Cottage Grove Quilt Company and learning how you can trim your quilt down once you've received it back from your long arm quilter. Thank you.